Hi, this is Brad Wigwell with the Wigwell Law Firm. Our firm wanted to get to you the most recent information that we have on the proposed changes that President-elect Trump wants to make to the tax code. Some of these are going to affect your clients and some of them won't. They'll primarily affect wealthier clients than more modest clients. A couple of tips that I'll give you here in a minute or two may affect all your clients. So if you're ready, we'll get going. And some of this is stuff you've already heard about, so let me dive right into the elimination of the estate tax. So President Trump has proposed in the campaign trail that he wants to eliminate estate taxes. I think he might. I think he's going to try, and he's got a Republican Senate and a Republican House, and if there's ever been a more perfect storm to do that, this is it. He is going to have to deal with probably 47 Democratic senators who may have different ideas. They could filibuster something like this. They certainly might. The Republican electorate these days is much more liberal or progressive. They're not interested in giving anybody with wealth a particular tax break, as you heard from the campaign trail from the Hillary Clinton side of things. So we'll see. But I think he's serious, and if he does, he does. And I do want to point out, though, for clients, wealthier clients who would be concerned about a repeal and maybe thrilled at a repeal, the estate tax has been repealed and brought back 4 different times in history. It's a yo-yo. It goes away, it comes back, it comes back, it goes away. We'll see. But one of the things we're going to do next year is do a better job of keeping you informed on some of these legal issues that you need to know about. Gift tax repeal is another thing that President Trump mentioned that he wanted to try to accomplish. Again, I think he's going to try, but gift taxes add a whole new set of complexity that probably isn't obvious at the beginning. The complexity the gift tax repeal adds is that it's going to lead to, if they actually do repeal the gift tax, a lot of income shifting. And what income shifting is where a wealthier person that may be, let's say, in the 43.4% tax bracket, which is, you probably know, is the highest income tax bracket here, federal government-wise, and you take assets and you shift those assets, you give them to a loved one who's in a lower tax bracket. So if I take my stock portfolio and I gift it to my kid who's in the 15% tax bracket and I'm in the 43.4% tax bracket, well, we just saved a lot of money on income taxes. Now, it will probably bump up that child's tax rate, but it surely won't bump it up to 43.4%. So that's going to have a very negative a very negative impact on federal income tax collection. So I think the gift tax repeal is going to be a harder thing to get through than the estate tax repeal would be. Capital gains taxes, another area where we're going to see probably some negative impact. I think you all know, but to remind you, on the first death, the family of the deceased, when they inherit the non-retirement assets, get a step up in the basis of the assets. And that's great. And for your benefit, you can now do trades and reposition assets that weren't really able to be repositioned because the clients didn't want to sell them because they didn't want to pay the capital gains taxes. On the first death, second death, oftentimes there's a step up, certainly on the first death of a married couple, and of course for a single person there's a full step up. But that's something that may be on the chopping block. It has been thought that President Trump, and there's some mention of this apparently in some of his thoughts, may do away with the step-up in basis. So the estate tax actually gets replaced with a capital gains tax. No step-up. Everybody gets the basis of the original account holder. That's, to trade that off against the estate tax may be okay, but that's the kind of thing that would affect your more normal probably clients between 1 million and 11 million who don't have an estate tax problem but would have a capital gains tax problem if something like that went through. So we don't know any more about than that, but it's something to keep your eye out because that is something that could be coming down the pike in the spring. 2 planning tips. One is, if you have clients who are charitable inclined, ask them to consider making their charitable gifts this year, because another thing that may occur, and there is some talk about this from the Trump camp, is that the charitable income tax deduction may be eroded. And if you don't get to as big of a deduction next year as you would this year, And of course, nobody knows the future, but if you're going to make a larger charitable gift, you may be smarter to make it this year, again, than next year. Roth and IRAs, on the other hand, Roth conversions, you may want to wait till next year, because if you can convert it at a lower income tax rate, which is what almost everybody thinks you're going to have, you can still convert it next year, pay less tax, and have more left over for your clients, and have more sit in your book. Those are the things that are going on federal-wise. The legislature's in town, starting in January. They come every other year, as you know. We don't know what sort of fun things they've got in store for us either. Courts, regulators, everything's still going full steam ahead. So again, we'll do our best to keep you informed on changes that may occur. If we can help you in the future, please let us know. As I think you understand, we don't charge for the first visit. We have an office here, Georgetown, Horseshoe Bay, and San Antonio. And we do seminars, so if you're going to think about doing some workshops or seminars next year, we do a great job, and we can help you with those and help you, frankly, acquire more clients from them. Thanks for being our partner in this, and we always are available for your phone calls and questions and emails, so let us know if you have any questions about this or anything else going on. Have a great end of 2016, great holiday season, and we'll see you in 2017.